Hello guys, it's Tumblr reaction of this grim, dark reading called Let Her In. It is 20 minutes and 23 seconds long. I know it's about Fluttershy, and I kind of heard some samples from Sparrow. Well, we're gonna get this reaction or grim dark reading done now. In 3, 2, 1, go. Sparrow presents. Night 1. Come in.
A hoof tapped against the window panes. It was 4 in the morning, and Fluttershy was standing outside of Applebloom's bedroom window.
Why?
Her eyes were blank, and her smile slight enough to go virtually unnoticed. As Applebloom turned her head toward the window, Fluttershy raised a hoof and tapped against the glass again.
Why
She
would
mouthed 4 words, her mouth barely moving.
Fluttershy being...
It's cold out here.
That's so fucking creepy!
Her head. She listened to the creaks and groans of the house. It would be done soon. The tapping started again.
Night 2.
Fluttershy was standing outside of the window again. Her eyes...
Why does she want to come in? Don't let her in. I like her, but...
To describe how. The dark red stain across the left side of Fluttershy's face contrasted harshly with her normal...
That's fucking creepy!
She again tapped on the glass, again mouthing those 4 words.
It's cold out here.
Jesus Christ!
If anything, it was an unusually warm night.
Bloody hell!
Applebloom pulled the covers up to her muzzle. A part of her wanted to open the window and let Fluttershy in. Yet there was that whisper at the back of
Why
her
does she want to come in?
No, some part of Applebloom's brain said. Do not open the window. So she merely sat there, staring.
That's her conscience talk.
Slightly
That's her
eyes.
conscience talking. Then.
Sleep seemed a remote possibility, but eventually, it came. Applebloom dozed off just as the tapping stopped.
Why does Applebloom just investigate? Night 3.
That night,
What the
Applebloom dreamed of toys.
blood?
Not merely toys in general, but familiar plush or wooden faces from her childhood. She saw the wooden dolls Granny Smith had given her.
A voodoo doll.
Downs from Big Macintosh and Applejack were
Jesus Christ.
although they looked
And that's
dingier
a
than
scribbler,
Applebloom
isn't it?
remembered. She found herself digging through what seemed to be an unending pile of toys.
What am I looking for?
Applebloom wondered. Appleblom decided a minute
A
later.
plush of Apple
It must be
of
King Paws, her favorite teddy bear.
this plush over there.
She remembered loving him immensely when she was a foal. But why couldn't she find him? Surely he must be somewhere.
Who are you looking
Surely
for?
This relic of Applebloom's foalhood was not so easily buried. But King Paws had not been buried. Had he? Had he gone missing? He had vanished from her one spring night, and Applebloom
Is this thing
the
alive?
same sense.
This
With this
toy
realization,
or
Applebloom
plush?
started to sob.
Is it a plush?
This rush of emotion yanked her out of her dream. Fluttershy was standing outside the window again.
Why?
Clutched in her mouth was a tattered, old teddy bear.
A teddy bear. Night 4.
Applebloom slept in Applejack's bed that night. She made up some excuse about nightmares, horribly aware of how immature she sounded. But her big sister was more than willing to switch bedrooms for that night.
I would get the fuck out of there, Applebloom. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of there.
The real reason
Don't let Fluttershy in. I hate to say this, but don't let her in.
Applebloom started thinking about her full hood for some reason. She recalled
She
bright
murdered
eyes
some
pointing
pony.
out from an open wardrobe, shadows slinking across the floor, a husky sigh as she approached sleep. Surely they were simply the remnants of past bad dreams.
Past bad
Applejack
dreams.
complained
Past
of a
bad
headache
nightmares
the
then.
next morning, but otherwise was none the worse for wear.
Man, all this grimdark out there, and Luna can't do anything. Night 5.
Apple Bloom was alone in the house. Her siblings and grandmother
Looks like
had
a
left the premises.
storm is
the former
blowing
due to
out
a
there.
last-minute order, and the latter
The
due
storm
to
blowing,
some
Harry.
business with a distant
Just like
relative.
last time.
They would not be back until late the next day.
Late next day.
Prior to bed, Apple Bloom locked all the doors and windows in the house. She made a bed for herself on the living room couch, and as one final precaution,
Settee?
Apple Bloom took an old garden hoe from the barn. She laid it next to her makeshift bed within hoof's reach.
Who's reach? Oh my gosh.
It was raining outside.
Really?
Apple Bloom listened to the raindrops splattering against the roof as she dozed off. Occasionally, she was convinced she heard something else. A footstep? A bang? A whisper? No, it was her imagination. Or perhaps the wind.
But is it imagination, Apple Bloom?
Under the blanket.
Is your life
More
in
noises.
danger?
They sounded as if they were coming from her bedroom.
Window.
But that was impossible. The window was closed. But was it closed? Apple Bloom sat up, her
Yeah, she-
heart pounding. She thought her
Oh
way
no,
down
that
the
music
house
started
even
again.
thorough. But hadn't she
Means only one
intentionally
thing.
entered her bedroom, trusting the window to be closed? Yet any pony in her family could have opened it prior to their leaving. Even more noises, banging, and perhaps footsteps. And Apple Bloom was now certain they were
Hoof
coming
step.
from her room.
Hoof.
She
Hoof
clutched the blanket,
steps.
quivering. What was she to do? Investigate? Flee? But what if it really was her imagination and
Don't-
the window was firmly shut?
You're trapped actually. If you
so,
can't,
stepping out of the house,
if you
might
go
have
outside, you're dead. If you stay inside, you're dead.
Apple Bloom
Basically,
threw
you're
off the
screwed.
blanket and dropped to the floor. She had to know. Perhaps she was trotting to her own death, but it was better than simply waiting for some unknown whore to grab her. Apple Bloom took the garden hoe in her mouth before she headed up the stairs. The house was silent.
You can get those
but
at
Apple
Christmas
Bloom was
time.
not fooled.
Yeah. Ho, ho, and ho again.
A part of her expected the door to
Bad
fly
joke,
open
sorry.
and for some awful creature to pounce. But having a weapon of sorts made Apple Bloom feel brave.
It's
Brave
those
to gently push the door
fucking
open
eyes,
without
man.
hesitation.
They look
The
so
window,
real-like, creepy-like.
the wind, it was now practically howling, was slapping sheets of rain and leaves into the room. Judging by the twigs and leaves that had accumulated under the window, it had been open for a while.
How did it?
But the open window was not the
Sounds like a
cause.
nuclear storm, actually.
It was not the cause of the scream that climbed.
How did the
halfway
window
up her
open?
throat. She saw it within seconds, and when she did, Apple Bloom thanked Celestia that she had not stepped into the room. Something was in Apple Bloom's bed. A pony-shaped lump was visible under the covers.
Oh god.
It was moving, its chest rising and falling with every breath. Apple Bloom thought she smelled something rotting and dusty. The
Ugh.
pages of a very old book, but she could have imagined it. Apple Bloom did not move, neither did the creature, save for its breathing. Apple Bloom realized the creature did not seem to
Is
realize that
Fluttershy in
she
the
was
bed?
there. It did not stir as she stood frozen in the doorway, nor did the wind and rain seem to disturb it. Apple Bloom eventually left the room, quietly shutting the door behind her.
Lock the
She
door.
went back downstairs, slower this time, as not to make too much noise. Apple Bloom ended up spending the night in the barn. When her family returned and demanded
Raise
an
his barn,
explanation,
raise his barn.
she made
You
up some
are
half
fucking
believable
dead.
story about a burglar. She refused to return to the house until...
Why would a burglar open the fucking window just to lie down in the fucking bed?
Found, save for the open window in her bedroom. Apple Bloom returned to her bedroom after the search was complete. Other than a few dry leaves and the lingering smell of decay, there was no indication of anything having slept in her bed. However, Apple Bloom found that one of the dresses in her wardrobe was covered with dirt and what appeared to be a single bloody hoof print.
Bloody
Apple Bloom
hoof?
burned the dress in the fireplace later that day.
Night 6.
Apple Bloom stayed up all night. She was sleepy to the point of near madness, but she refused to tear her eyes from the window.
Why do I think you're following Apple Bloom now?
This time, she
Last,
held a
like,
single
my
piece
last
of
reaction was
cloth
about
in
Apple
her
Bloom.
mouth. It was from the dress Apple Bloom had burnt. Apple Bloom had buried the remains of it in the yard.
Along with the well.
The eyes and the shadows that seemed to have haunted
So
her
that
early
was an
fall.
old fanfic.
She was now convinced she had also heard scratching noises and perhaps tapping, but memories and nightmares had become interchangeable as of late. Apple Bloom was not wholly convinced that they were not one and the same. The two sat locked in what seemed to be a staring contest.
I think it's
until
all
night
connected,
came.
Apple Bloom.
As
It's
soon as
all
Celestia's
connected
light poked its way through the
in the
clouds,
great circle of life.
Fluttershy
Sorry,
charted
it's all
the way.
connected.
Apple Bloom did not get up from her bed. It was minutes before she gave in to the slumber.
Night 7.
Applejack had found the remains of the dress and demanded to know why Apple Bloom was burning her clothes. She also
It's
asked
taken
Apple
2
Bloom
weeks.
about her apparent
It's taken
sleeping troubles and her
a
hostility towards Fluttershy.
a week, not 2 weeks, a
Apple Bloom
week.
confessed nothing. She made excuses that were far from plausible. Apple Bloom did not care if her sister was satisfied or not. A part of her hoped Applejack would send her away, perhaps to a relative's house. At least Apple Bloom
Asylum
would be far away
seeker.
from this nightmare, if that
Not
happened.
asylum seek.
But Applejack had not
Asylum.
sent her away.
A
Apple Bloom was certain Applejack was consulting Big Macintosh over the matter, but for the time being, she was forced into yet another staring contest with Fluttershy, or whatever loathsome creature wore Fluttershy's face outside of her window.
Oh, come on!
Fluttershy pressed
Is
her nose
Fluttershy
against the
technically
window.
dead?
Her eyes seemed larger than they
Or
should,
is Fluttershy? It's like she's been possessed
as if denied
by
some
something
great
or something.
conquest.
I'm gonna kill you!
Only stare for so long before she
Sorry,
turned
that was a bit random by
Fluttershy
me.
mouthed those familiar words again.
It's cold out here.
Jesus
Apple Bloom
Christ!
stuck her head underneath the covers. She did not fear Fluttershy tapping at the window. But that
Why?
was
How?
worse
How's that
than
possible?
taking
How come she got here?
thoughts.
Night 8.
Apple Bloom thought she might have been sleepwalking the previous night, for she had not awakened in her bed, but curled up in front of the closed window. Enough is enough, Apple Bloom thought as she laid in bed. It may have seemed like a brave proclamation, but in truth, Apple Bloom was terrified. She again did not sleep. Her eyes focused on
Bloom-
the creature outside of her window.
No one can actually hear this creature.
Fluttershy
Can't hear
continued Apple
Fluttershy
Bloom's
then.
stare, smiling and licking her lips.
That's not a fucking smile. That's a demented fucking soul.
Earlier, Apple Bloom had overheard her older siblings talking about doctors. She was aware they planned to send her to one. Whatever her siblings planned to do, Apple Bloom
If I
was
make a
confident
suggestion,
it would soon enough.
Applejack,
Apple Bloom opened
you
her
could
eyes
send
at
her
night. She
to a
waited
doctor
until
called
the sun
Dr.
had
Colstein.
sunk below the trees
I
before
heard
she
he's
could
actually quite good.
Her family had dozed off a little while ago. Confident she was the only sleepless soul in the house, Apple Bloom left her bedroom and went downstairs. In the kitchen, Apple Bloom procured an old glass lamp. She also took the sharpest kitchen knife she could find from the drawer. Far more useful than the garden hose she had chosen last time.
She's taking a
In this
kitchen
case,
knife, man.
The purpose was not mere defense.
Now, that's when
Apple Bloom
you're
waited until
basically
darkness had truly fallen.
feeling for your life now. Taking a knife now,
The gas lamp held
not necessarily
precariously
going to
in her
work,
hoof
but
and the knife handle in her mouth. Apple Bloom
that
nudged
must
the
be
door
hard,
open
man.
inch
Doing
by
everything with your mouth.
careful to minimize any noise that she made. The creature was again lying in Apple Bloom's bed, the outline of its form underneath the covers. Apple Bloom
Does she ever
placed the
wake
gas
up?
lamp on the floor. She froze as it touched the floorboards with the slightest thump. She saw no evidence of the creature awakening at this sound. Apple Bloom held back a sigh of relief. Apple Bloom waited a few more minutes to ascertain that the thing was asleep.
Oh,
She
come
then
on!
approached the bed, knife still clutched in her mouth. She was shaking, but she refused to hesitate in this moment of action. Apple Bloom reached the side of the bed and gently pressed both hooves against it. She
You
eased
shouldn't
herself up,
really do
carefully
that,
throwing
Apple Bloom.
herself onto the bed next to the creature.
Even though you're going to die anyway, but
Then,
you
the
shouldn't
creature
really do that.
It was only a slight shift, as if it was trying to get comfortable, but it was enough to completely destroy Apple Bloom's nerve. Apple Bloom dropped the knife, a squeak of terror flying out of her mouth. She pressed both hooves against her mouth, but it was far too late.
What?
The creature seemed to sense Apple Bloom was near. It moved in one swift, jerky motion, arching its back and bending its way in a way no normal pony could have managed. The creature gave a long growl.
Jesus
Its body appeared to
Christ!
convulse as it threw the covers from it. Apple Bloom screamed, leaping from the bed. The creature leaped from the bed as well, moving in a way similar to a spider. It still resembled Fluttershy, but its neck was bent in an unnatural angle.
Ugh.
Oh, come
Its head
on!
was bent to one side and upside down. It regarded Apple Bloom with its upside down grin, a grin extending far past what
That
should have
is
been possible.
disgusting.
Its tongue hung limply from one side of its mouth, like that of an excited dog. It was panting in eagerness. Applejack rushed into the room, a gas lamp in her hoof.
What the hey is going on?
Applejack said breathlessly. But Apple Bloom could only whimper, pointing a hoof at the creature that now stood in silent triumph near the window. Applejack's eyes widened with bemusement and horror.
What in tarnation?
Applejack gasped. The creature moved its neck, adjusting its head to a more normal position. Its face no longer even vaguely resembled Fluttershy.
What is it?
Instead had morphed into some twisted mockery of the shy pony's face. The mouth stretched even farther, the pupils smaller than pinpricks. It was breathing heavily, a tongue at least a foot long.
Is that a
hanging
snake?
From its gaping maw. Applejack tossed the gas lamp at the creature. It shattered upon impact, setting the vile thing on fire. All at once, the creature's twisted face rearranged itself. It now became a more accurate representation of Fluttershy. The flames started to engulf it immediately. A scent not unlike that of sulfur rose as patches of its fur hastily burned away. The creature objected loudly, alternating between screams eerily similar of those of Fluttershy and deep screeches not unlike that.
Why are you
of
killing? Is it Fluttershy? Don't
the
go.
fur and flesh burned away at an unnatural rate, the screams and screeches continuing long after they should have ended. The last to surrender to the inferno was the light pink mane. After a few moments, all that remained was a charred skeleton. Apple Bloom and Applejack did not speak to each other. Neither spoke a word of the incident, even after Applejack had buried the body in a secluded part of the farm. In fact, they both took the secret to their graves. Apple Bloom never again slept with her window open, even on particularly hot nights. Eventually, she was able to resume regular interaction with the real Fluttershy, although it took months before she could look her in the eye. And for a while after that, Apple Bloom would shudder every time Fluttershy smiled. The creature's smile would haunt her for the remainder of her days. Occasionally, on nights when it was particularly cold and the wind was close to howling, Apple Bloom would swear she could hear a tapping at her window.
What?
But she never got up to check. She merely snuggled deeper under her covers, willing herself to enter dreamland even quicker. But it was a little harder to ignore the voice. It whispered to her, seemingly inches away from her ear. It sounded very much like Fluttershy.
It's cold down here.
Okay, that was lettering. My Little Pony Grimdark reading. That was some crazy fucking shit, man. That is so crazy, creepy, and it's cold outside and all that. Money. At least it was a Grimdark that the actual monster died, not the main thing died. You know what I mean? I thought Apple Bloom was gonna die, but she can easily be killed. Even Applejack, you can. If it all went pear shaped or apple shaped, and you didn't set the thing on fire, that demented Apple Bloom or Fluttershy, she can just kill Apple Bloom there. It could have gone apple shaped, pear shaped. Never shouted like that before, no? Oh shit, man, that's so fucking creepy. And it was. It really was. Well, hopefully like this reaction and all my reactions I do, and I will see you later on. Oh, yes.